Welcome to the Apply Pressure Podcast with yours truly, Transformer Chris. Here, we dig deep and go beyond the surface, uncover what's hidden, talk straight, no fluff, share secrets, give advice, and keep it all the way real regarding life. Listen, sis, I know you be busy doing what you do, but child boo, I really need to talk to you. If you're frustrated with your life because it feels like nothing's happening, it's because you stopped making noise. That statement is going to be my tweet this week. And the reason why is because I want to encourage more people to make their presence known. So many people aren't getting their just due in life because they go unnoticed. You can't fault anyone for not knowing you're there if you live your life in hiding. If you're always flying underneath the radar, then you'll never receive the exposure that you need to reach your next level. Two things that need to be evident about anyone that has any real desire to elevate is people need to know who you are and they need to know what it is that you do. The only way for you to effectively do that is by being bold enough to live out loud and start making yourself more visible. Your life is a statement all in itself. It's always telling a story to the world about who you are. Even when you think it's not, it's revealing something about you, believe me. The power that we all have that not many take advantage of is we have the ability to script it to a certain extent. We have the ability to write our own story. You make yourself an asset when you become the answer to someone else's problem. But a rhetorical question that I have for you all today is, what good is an answer that never reveals itself? I need to know that you can help in order for me to ever enlist your services for anything, right? Other than that, you'll continue to be bypassed and you'll continue to be overlooked. Why? Because no one knows what you have to offer. No one's aware of what you bring to the table. It's time to start putting yourself out there so that you can get the results that you've been looking for. That light was never put in you to be dimmed or for you to hide it. It was put in there for it to be able to light your path and to guide you throughout life. It was put in you to be able to shine bright in someone else's darkness. Having untapped potential and wasted talent, that's an ungrateful way of living. It's like telling God that his gift was useless to you. Every single positive attribute, every gift and talent, every skill that you have, they all have a voice. And that voice carves out space in your life for blessings. But if you fail to see the value in what you have to offer first, then you'll always settle beneath your means. The spirit of comparison is the thief of joy, and it's the thief of happiness. That's why you must always work extra hard to protect your happiness. Work extra hard to protect your peace. When you sense it happening, you need to pivot. And I'm talking pivot quickly. It has a way of making you feel discontent with who you are and what you have been blessed with. Because it makes you covet the attributes of someone else. If we could learn to maximize our own investments and appreciate our own benefit packages, then we will be a lot more successful at living life happy. See, the thing is, many people have been deceived into thinking that happiness is in receiving external gifts, but the reality is happiness is learning to bask in the intrinsic value that's internal. When you are grateful for the gift of life in itself and grateful for who you are, grateful for whose you are and all that you were created to be, there's a joy that's birthed on the inside of you that the world can't give and the world can't take it away. So I want to challenge you to get more into yourself. Come to terms with who God called you to be as opposed to who you desire to be. And it may seem cliche to hear, but it's one of the realest pieces of advice that I can give you. Stop fighting against your true identity. Embrace it. The greatest version of you won't arrive based off of a dollar amount. It won't arrive based off of any kind of affiliation or geographical location. So you can take trip after trip. You can rub elbows with whoever. None of that won't change it. Because that same exact person that you really are shows up in all of those areas. And the greatest version of you will only arrive when you begin to cultivate and you begin to develop and you begin to love and appreciate who you really are. Let me just tell y'all a little bit about the consequences of living life intimidated by the opinions of people. The power of intimidation will stop you from believing in yourself. And it will make you fearful about being content in the skin that you are in. Sometimes I think it's important to remind people of the fact that you did not choose to be here. It was chosen for you, which tells me that you have this thing called purpose on the inside of you that's fighting to fulfill itself. We're all here for a reason. So every time you stifle your gift, every time that you muzzle your voice, every time you dim your light or you question your worth, every time you idolize and covet someone else's life over your own, you minimize your potential by constantly suppressing your purpose. Nobody deserves to live a life that's half fulfilled. Nobody deserves that. Go out and give the world the raw, the uncut, no additives, the unadulterated version of you. Let's just see who you can really become. Because 9 times out of 10, you're probably a lot doper than you actually know. And then doors are just waiting to be opened by the real you, not the imposter that the world provoked you to pretend to be. I posted a quote a little while ago, and it was one that I saw on social media, and it just jumped out at me. It said that it's not that you don't know your assignment. It's just that you're too worried about people. Listen, if people are your reason behind shrinking, then they are actually costing you more than you can afford. That business is waiting on the real you. That marriage is waiting on a real you. That position that you're after is waiting on a real you. Your assignment and your calling is waiting on the real you. That joy and contentment, peace of mind that you've been searching for, it's waiting for the real you to boldly show up. If your presence is not making noise, then you must not want anything. Because closed mouths don't get fed. When is the last time that you let your life speak out loud? Think about it. And then we trick ourselves into believing that we opt to sit back and be quiet as a sign of humility. But really, it's a covered up sign of timidity. And it's just that you don't want nobody else to see it. God said that we are the head and not the tail. He said that we were above and not beneath. He said that we were lenders and not borrowers. The Bible clearly tells us not to hide our lights, but to let them shine for all to see. It says not to conceal our talents and our abilities. Listen, guys, endless opportunities await you. Don't let anyone tell you differently or allow someone to place their insecurities onto you. Because guess what? The same ones that will judge you and tell you to be quiet are the exact same ones that will criticize you for not doing enough. So you can't win. It's time for you to make your mark. And let me just confirm this for anyone that may have the slightest bit of confusion about it. It is okay to bet on yourself. And guess what else? Haters do come with the territory. So don't be surprised or baffled by it. Unfortunately, guys, it's a real thing. Just remember, anytime that you're in need of even an ounce of encouragement, that your purpose in life is to purposely be you, unapologetically. Bring your swag, bring your style, bring your creativity, bring your skill, bring your talent, bring your ideas next time around. Bring your wisdom, bring your knowledge, bring your flaws, bring your uncertainties, bring your rawness to the forefront next time. Bring your boldness, bring your uniqueness, and lay it all out on the table. Those are the pieces that make up who you are, and those are the pieces that are necessary for shaping you into who you are to become. Come on, y'all. It's a fine time to let the entire world hear your roar. Start making some noise. Okay, ladies, that's it for this week's episode. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you stay caught up and don't miss out on what's next. If you're enjoying this atmosphere, be sure to go and leave your girl a review. That way this platform can continue to evolve and build a strong network of empowered women of purpose. Until next time, hop over to my website. Make sure you subscribe and capture all the latest products and free giveaways by visiting www.crystalmetellus.com. Also, connect with me on social media @CrystalMetellus. Talk to you later, sis.